Welcome to the deep dive. So, you've sent us some really interesting stuff this time, a
Right.
mix of things, but especially this detailed PDF focusing on an AI plus project manager certification.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it all kind of points to the same big question. How is artificial intelligence, AI, actually changing the core job of a project manager?
Fundamentally changing, it seems like.
Exactly. So our mission basically is to pull out the crucial insights, the stuff you can actually use, and make sense of it all without getting lost in tech speak.
Sounds good. Get people informed quickly, cut through the noise.
Precisely. Let's dive in.
Okay, well, the first thing that really strikes you from these materials is just how much the landscape is shifting. It's undeniable.
Right.
Your sources are really clear. The PM role isn't just about, Gantt charts and keeping track anymore.
Less admin, more strategy.
Exactly. It's moving towards being much more strategic. Understanding AI, leveraging AI,
Yeah.
that's becoming a core skill.
Okay, but you don't need to be a data scientist, right?
No, that's a key point they make. It's not about coding AI. It's about knowing how to apply it, how to make it work for your projects.
And things like this AI plus project manager certification.
Yep.
That just highlights how important this shift is becoming.
Absolutely. It's a direct response to this evolution. It tells you this isn't niche anymore.
Okay, so this isn't some future prediction. It's happening now.
Very much now.
Hmm.
The PDF really hammers home that AI isn't emerging tech in business anymore. It's foundational.
Foundational, that's a strong word.
It is. But look at the impact it's already had over the last decade. Technologically, economically, it's huge.
Can you give us a sense of that scale? The sources had some numbers, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Globally, the AI market, North America's got the biggest piece of the pie, about 28.8%.
Okay.
But Asia Pacific is right behind at 25%. Europe at 24.3%.
Yeah.
What's really interesting is the UK growing fast, 14.1% growth rate mentioned.
Wow.
And even places like Latin America, the Middle East, Africa, they're smaller chunks,
Yeah.
around 5.4% each, but they're definitely growing.
So the takeaway for listeners is this isn't just happening somewhere else. It affects their industry too.
Exactly. These numbers reflect the way all industries are moving. It's becoming embedded everywhere.
Right. So AI's presence is established. Now, the sources also talked about how the way we use AI has changed, matured.
Oh, massively.
Yeah.
Think about the early days. AI in business was often pretty basic, right? Simple chatbots, maybe some automated data entry.
Yeah, rudimentary stuff.
Right now, it's shifted to much more sophisticated applications. We're talking advanced machine learning systems, learning from data on their own,
Okay.
natural language processing, NLP, so machines can actually understand human language, respond to it.
Makes sense.
Predictive analytics, that's a big one. Forecasting what might happen next based on data.
Yeah.
And intelligent automation.
Intelligent automation. What does that mean exactly? Is it just robots?
It's more than just RPA, the software robots doing repetitive tasks. Intelligent automation combines things like RPA with, say, machine learning or NLP to handle more complex workflows. Imagine a chatbot answering team questions and triggering an RPA bot to automatically compile status reports from different places.
Ah, okay. So it connects different AI bits together.
Precisely. It makes the automation smarter, more integrated.
And how are these more advanced tools actually changing the day-to-day for project managers? Like real examples.
Okay, think about planning. Instead of just guessing based on past projects, AI can analyze tons of data from previous work, find hidden patterns that cause delays, and suggest more accurate timelines or buffer zones.
So better estimate.
Much better. Data-backed, not just gut feeling. It optimizes schedules, too. Spots bottlenecks you might miss.
Okay. What else?
Resource allocation. AI can look at who's available, what skills they have, and match them to tasks dynamically in real time as the project changes.
That sounds way more efficient.
It is. And crucially, it gives proactive insights. It flags potential risks or budget issues before they blow up.
Early warnings.
Exactly. Plus, real-time updates for everyone, automated reports, even strategic suggestions for budget tweaks or communication plans. It's quite powerful.
It really sounds like it goes way beyond just making things a little faster. The sources seem to hint at a much bigger transformation coming.
Oh, absolutely. As companies keep pouring money into AI, the way projects get done is going to keep changing, probably faster and faster.
How so?
Well, AI's got the potential to tackle really complex problems, things we struggle with now, find efficiencies we haven't even thought of. It could completely change how teams even function together.
And the project manager's role in that future.
The sources paint a picture of the PM as an orchestrator of AI.
Orchestrator.
Yeah. Designing workflows that use AI effectively, interpreting the data insights AI provides, making sure it all lines up with the big picture, the strategic goals. Less doing, more directing and leveraging.
Okay. One stat that really caught my eye was this idea that AI could automate up to 80% of routine tasks.
Right, that's a huge number.
What does that actually mean for a PM's week? 80%. That's almost 4 days free.
Well, maybe not quite 4 days completely free, but think about it. It's about freeing up massive amounts of time from the repetitive stuff. Scheduling meetings, chasing updates, compiling basic reports. AI can handle a lot of that.
So what do you do at that time?
That's the key. You focus on the high-value stuff, strategy, complex problem solving, stakeholder management, team leadership, creativity, the things AI can't do.
Makes sense. And it helps the team, too.
Definitely. Automated reminders, smarter task assignments based on who's best suited or available, instant updates. It makes the whole team environment more efficient, more informed, less time wasted on admin, more time on actual work.
That vision of a super efficient team supported by AI, it's pretty compelling. Now, something else mentioned was personalized project management. What's that about?
Yeah, that's interesting. Traditionally, you pick a methodology, agile, waterfall, whatever, and often try to apply it across the board.
The one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly. AI allows for something much more tailored. It can analyze past project data, look at the team's strengths, the project's specific needs, even the company culture.
And suggest the best way to run this specific project.
Precisely. Adapt the methodology, tweak the processes for a better fit. And this personalization extends to resources, too.
So,
AI can get really granular, analyzing specific skills within the team and matching them perfectly to task requirements, adjusting as things change. It's not just about who's free, but who's genuinely the best fit right now.
leading to better quality work, presumably.
That's the idea. Better alignment of skills to tasks means higher quality output and probably better efficiency, too.
So it sounds like AI is tackling some classic project management pain points head on.
Absolutely. Think about the big ones. Risks, delays, budget blowouts, quality
So
control.
usual suspects.
Right. The sources point to predictive analytics being huge here. Analyzing data to forecast potential risks or delays before they become major issues gives you time to react, to prevent.
Okay, so proactive risk management. What about budgets?
AI can monitor spending patterns, flag areas where you might be going over budget early on, maybe even suggest ways to optimize spending based on project priorities.
And reporting. That's always time-consuming.
AI can automate a lot of that, pulling data from different systems, generating accurate status reports automatically, saves a ton of time and reduces errors.
Quality, too.
Yeah, AI can monitor progress and deliverables against standards, flagging potential quality issues much earlier than manual checks might catch them. It might even suggest corrective actions.
Okay, so for a company thinking, right, we need to get on board with this, where do they even begin? It sounds potentially overwhelming. The material had a roadmap, right?
It did. And the key message there is, don't just jump into the tech. Be strategic about it.
Okay, step one.
Identify where AI could have the biggest impact. Which parts of your project management process are ripe for improvement? Where's the most value?
Makes sense. Don't try to boil the ocean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Start small. Pilot projects are crucial. Test things out. Learn. Build some internal success stories.
What else?
Data. You need good data, and your systems need to be ready. AI is only as good as the data it gets.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Then choose the right tools that fit your needs and ideally work with what you already have. And critically, train your people.
The human element.
Absolutely vital. People
Right.
need to understand how to use these tools effectively, how it changes their workflow. Then you can start automating those routine tasks we talked about.
And it's not a one-and-done thing.
No way.
Yeah.
Continuous monitoring, measuring the impact, refining the approach. It's an ongoing process to really get the long-term benefits.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, let's circle back to that AI plus project manager certification that was prominent in the sources. Tell us more about that. Why is it positioned as so important right now?
Well, like we said, it's framed as a direct response to these changes. It's designed specifically to give PMs the skills they need for this new AI-enhanced environment.
And there's market data backing this up.
Yeah, the material cites some pretty striking figures. The AI and project management market, something like $2.67 billion in 2023, projected to hit over $6 billion by 2028.
Wow, that's more than doubling.
It's a compound annual growth rate of nearly 18%. That tells you how quickly this area is expanding. It's not hype, it's serious investment and adoption.
So the certification taps into that growing need. What does it actually cover? You mentioned modules.
Right, 7 modules. The first one just lays the groundwork of the basics of AI, why it's beneficial specifically for project management.
Okay, the foundations.
Module 2 gets practical. It talks about specific AI tools, mentioning things like Trello, Jira, Notion, which people might already use, but also RPA systems. Crucially, it covers how to evaluate these tools, train your team, and actually implement them to get results.
Like what kind of results?
Things like better predictive analytics, automating documentation, making workflows smoother. Module 3 is all about data.
Data-driven decisions.
Exactly. Using tools like Tableau, Power BI, tools for visualizing and analyzing project data to spot trends, forecast outcomes, provide better insights for stakeholders. The goal is minimizing risk, aligning with strategy.
Got it. What about the team aspect?
That's Module 4, how AI impacts team dynamics, using AI to boost collaboration, productivity, things like chatbots for quick answers, AI helping with scheduling, automating those repetitive tasks again to free people up, improving communication flow.
Seems pretty comprehensive. Does it touch on the trickier stuff like ethics?
It does. Module 5 is dedicated to ethics in AI. Things like bias detection, making sure the AI isn't making unfair decisions, and mitigation strategies. It even mentions examples from big tech companies facing these issues, plus governance frameworks.
Important consideration.
Very. Then Module 6 is about the nuts and bolts of implementation within a project. Aligning AI with objectives, running pilots, managing data, tracking impact, handling risks, balancing the push for innovation with practical realities.
And the last one looks ahead.
Module 7, yeah. Future trends. Things like using AI for sustainability in projects, optimizing resource use for green AI, and just the general need for PMs to keep learning and adapting as AI continues to evolve.
Okay. So the potential is massive, the tools are evolving, there's training available, but the material also mentioned that companies are struggling with adoption.
Yes, that's a really important point they make. It's not always easy. There are real barriers.
Like what?
A big one is skills. That was pretty stark. 42% of employers in major economies felt they lacked AI skills in 2023.
Yeah.
The UK reported a 33% GLIS gap.
So people just don't know how to use this stuff yet.
Largely, yeah. Or not enough people do. Other barriers include data complexity, messy data, siloed data. Integrating new AI tools with old legacy systems can be a nightmare.
Technical hurdle.
Right. And sometimes just not having the right tools available, or the perceived high cost of getting started with AI.
So how do programs like AICerts address that?
Their pitch is essentially that they help build AI-ready cultures. They try to make AI less intimidating, more accessible, focus on practical impact.
So it's not just about training individuals, but shifting the whole organization.
That seems to be the goal. Make it engaging, break down those silos between departments, empower people at different levels to actually use AI and lead change, rather than just reacting to it.
So wrapping this up, the core message really seems to be AI isn't just coming, it's here, and it's fundamentally reshaping project management.
Absolutely. For PMs, IT folks, business leaders, anyone involved in getting projects done, really. Understanding and integrating AI is shifting from a nice-to-have to a need-to-have.
It's about survival, adaptation, and opportunity.
Exactly. The opportunity is there to gain real practical skills, become more effective, and frankly, become a leader in this new way of working. Build that confidence to actually drive AI initiatives.
Well, this has been incredibly illuminating. Seriously unpacked a lot based on those sources you sent over.
Glad it was useful. It's definitely a fast-moving field.
It really is. And maybe a final thought for our listeners to chew on. As AI gets woven deeper into everything, how does that change what we even mean by successful project leadership? It's not just about managing tasks anymore, right?
That's a great question. What are those uniquely human skills? Empathy, judgment, complex negotiation, maybe ethical reasoning. How much more valuable do they become when AI handles the mechanics? What new perspectives will define a great leader in, say, 5 or 10 years?
Something to definitely think about. Okay, Thanks again for breaking all this down.
My pleasure.
And a big thank you to you, our listener, for sharing the sources that got this whole conversation started. Really valuable stuff.